Steph here from Handbag Liner. Now today I have with me this incredible limited edition Louis Vuitton Neverfull. So this is part of the Stephen Sprouse collaboration, and if you are familiar with that collaboration you will know that this bag is actually 11 years old and it still looks incredible. I'm sure you will agree. But when I ordered it pre-loved, it showed up in a plastic bag and it wasn't particularly clean in terms of the Vachetta leather had marks on it, the canvas wasn't particularly clean, and inside, especially in the bottom corners of this bag, it looked pretty grim. So I thought I would pull together a video today on how to properly clean a Louis Vuitton bag. Now if you like designer handbags, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down here. It means so much to see the community growing. Now let's take a look at the products that I have used in this demonstration to clean this Louis Vuitton bag. I will also pop links to them down below if you want to purchase any of them. So some of the main products that you're going to need are the Simply Leather Deep Cleanser and Conditioner, some Carbon Pro to waterproof the Vachetta leather, some Brasso to clean up any brass, and then Vanish Carpet Care solution here, as well as a clean white cloth. So now let's take a look at the Louis Vuitton bag a little bit closer up before it's been cleaned. So you can see some darker marks on the Vachetta leather where dirt is just on there. If we take a closer look at the handles, you know, they've darkened over time due to oils and dirt. We'll be able to lighten these up slightly, but we do need to bear in mind that this bag is 11 years old, so it won't be perfect. Taking a look inside the bag, now the inside of this bag definitely needs a really good clean. You can see in the corners here, there's just a collection of dirt and fluff. There's some marks here on the Vachetta leather inside the bag. Just overall, the bag isn't as clean as it could be. The first thing we're going to do to clean this Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag is, first of all, turn it inside out. Now, this is a delicate process and it might take a little bit of time. Make sure you use your knuckles and just gently edge it and pull it through to completely turn it inside out. Don't use your fingers or nails because we want to protect the canvas as much as possible. So now you can see that the bag has been turned inside out and we can really see the dirt on the lining of this bag now. So we're going to hopefully clean this up quite significantly and definitely remove all of that nasty dirt in the corners. Don't forget the pocket if you have any internal pockets on your Louis Vuitton bag as well, because chances are there's some nasty dirt inside of there as well that we want to make sure we clean up. The first part of the process is to start hoovering out the corners of the bag just to get rid of all the loose surface dirt that we can. Now that you've finished hoovering out the bag, take your Vanish Gold Carpet Care and your clean white cloth and simply start to spray it onto the lining of the bag. It will naturally start to foam up. It will start to kill bacteria and remove the dirt as well. Now, make sure you've got some cotton buds to hand as well. So if you've got any dirt in the kind of seams of any internal pockets or the corners of the bag, you can use this to really get into the corners and the seams of the bag to remove any dirt. Now moving on to the main section of the lining of the bag, just start to work the carpet clean in with a damp, warm cloth. A circular motion is best to clean the lining. Now we've finished cleaning the lining of the bag as much as possible, and this bag looks and smells a hell of a lot better. Now you can see the corners here are just much cleaner and there's no dirt there anymore. The next thing we want to do, because the bag is wet, is just to hang it out to dry. Don't hang it out in the rain. Today was a nice sunny day, so I put it on a hanger and would just let it drip dry in the sun. Don't be tempted to put pegs and hang it on the line. Make sure you put it on a hanger and then on the line. So once the bag is dry, you can see the results here. Whilst there are still a few marks on the lining of the bag, it has improved significantly. So next we'll move on to cleaning the Vachetta leather trim. So that's inside and outside. So you'll need your deep cleanser and conditioner and a new clean white cloth. So first we take the cleanser. Simply put a small amount of this onto the cloth. Make sure you put the screw cap back on. And I'm going to start with the Vachetta leather inside of the bag. Now you can see that when it comes into contact with the Vachetta leather, it significantly darkens the leather, but don't worry, it's just because the Vachetta leather is wet. You can already see dirt coming off onto my cloth. Once the Vachetta leather has dried, it will go back to its normal state, if not slightly lighter, because we've removed some dirt. Now it is worth noting that the Vachetta leather again is 11 years old on this bag. It's already a fairly dark honey colour. I would advise against doing this on brand new Vachetta leather unless you really need to clean the bag, but it could end up darkening the leather if the leather is quite light to start with. Now you can see here that the leather is still lightening up as it dries, but it has removed the main dirty mark that was on here. Now simply start doing this to the leather trim of the bag. And already you can see quite a lot of dirt on our cloth here, which is just from the Vachetta leather. So now let's take a look at the handles. Now I'm just going to clean the handle towards the front of the bag just to show you the difference that it makes. Like I say, the cleaner will just fetch off surface dirt. It won't necessarily make a huge difference to the colour of the handles. So I'm happy with how the handles have come out on the bottom. They just look slightly cleaner. They aren't any darker than the other handles, but you can see that there's a lot less dirt on them. So we'll now clean the handles at the back as well. Once all the lining and Vachetta leather has been cleaned, we now need to turn the bag the right way around again to be able to clean the canvas. Again, take your time with this process. Don't use your fingers or nails. Try to use your knuckles and just gently tease it through. Don't rush this process because you want to make sure that everything stays perfectly intact. Now let's just take a look at the dried Vachetta leather. You can see that the tan is now quite even all the way around the bag. There's a lot less dirt on it, and overall the Vachetta is looking much better already. Now we want to turn our attention to the main canvas of the bag. This bag has a limited edition print on it, that's absolutely fine. Just take your cleanser and run it all over the bag to remove any surface dirt. Now that we've finished that process, we now want to take our Simply Leather Protection Conditioner and we will now condition and nourish the Vachetta leather on this Neverfull bag. Now this leather, if it gets completely dried out, will start to crack, so by nourishing it we're reducing the chances of that happening. Now a word of warning, this Vachetta leather is a honey colour, as you can see, and the conditioner won't really darken this leather anymore. However, if your Vachetta leather is brand new and bright, if you put conditioner onto it, it will start to darken it. Some people love that, and this is a way you can speed the process up if you want a darker Vachetta, but just a word of warning in case you have brand new Vachetta and you don't want to darken it, don't condition the leather. Conditioner is great for when the leather is slightly older and already has a honey colour. Now Louis Vuitton hardware is generally made of brass, so you can use Brasso to shine this up. Now the brass on this particular bag looks absolutely fine, so I'm not going to use Brasso, but to use this you would just dip a cotton bud into the Brasso and then gently rub it onto the brass of the Louis Vuitton bag. So I'm sure you'll agree this Neverfull is looking much better now it has been cleaned, and it is still fully drying out, but overall you can see that the Vachetta is slightly lighter because there's less dirt on there, and the colour and tone of the Vachetta is more equal. The canvas is looking a lot better, and definitely the lining of the bag looks significantly better and much cleaner. Again, this process also helps to eliminate odours that the bag has occurred over time. It still will smell slightly if it does have a scent, but this will help to alleviate that. Finally, we're going to protect the Vachetta leather with Carbon Pro. So this is going to waterproof the Vachetta leather against watermarks. So if you're ever caught out in the rain, your bag will get covered in watermarks, but if you protect it first, it won't. Now, I really love this product. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm being a little careless spraying it on here because I don't mind if it gets on the canvas of the bag. It will make the canvas go shiny, but all you need to do is simply wipe this off with a clean cloth, like so. Nothing special, just a dry, clean white cloth, and remove the Carbon Pro. And as it dries, the canvas will just go back to normal, if not waterproof it slightly anyway. But the main thing is the Vachetta leather that we want to waterproof. Now, just to demonstrate here, the one on the left has been sprayed and the one on the right hasn't. And you can see that the colour is pretty much exactly the same. So Carbon Pro isn't going to darken your Vachetta leather. It will do temporarily whilst you're spraying it and that it is wet. But once it is dry, make sure you leave it for a few hours to dry. It should come back up to normal. To demonstrate this close up, here you go, I'm spraying the Carbon Pro onto the Vachetta leather. It does darken it, it will make the canvas around the Vachetta shiny, but we're going to wipe this off with a clean cloth. Just make sure you're in a well ventilated area when you do this, and that you also have something down to make sure you're not spraying a table directly, for example. Now that is our waterproofing with Carbon Pro done. You can see here that the Vachetta leather has lightened back up once it has dried. I would advise doing this once every 3 months or so if you're using it every single day. Now, just to test that the Carbon Pro actually works and has created a waterproof membrane on the Vachetta leather, I've just poured some water on part of it here as a test to show you. Do not do this if you haven't protected it first. Now I'm simply going to take a cloth and wipe it off. So if your bag did get drenched, just try and wipe it off as much as possible, and you can literally see the Vachetta drying in front of your eyes and there are no watermarks on it. I can't tell you how brilliant Carbon Pro is and what an investment for around £10 a bottle. The next thing you also want to consider to stop the dirt getting into the corners of the lining again is a handbag liner. If you get dirt inside your bag, or if anything leaks, or just a general disaster happens inside your handbag, a handbag liner will really help to protect the lining of your bag. It also makes it a lot easier to find things. So this one has a removable zip to make it more private, but here you can see we've got lots of extra pockets and even a bottle holder, and you can still access the pouch on the Neverfull. So click the small eye in the corner and I will link you over to where you can buy the best luxury handbag liners. So finally, let's take a look at the Neverfull. Now it has been completely cleaned, waterproofed, and just, taken care of. The bag is just looking and smelling a lot better than it was. The lining has significantly improved, and with a liner we'll make sure that no more of the lining gets damaged. The Vachetta has come up really well. It looks a lot more even and just clean in general for many more years of use. Thank you so much for watching my video today on how to properly clean a Louis Vuitton bag. My favourite tip out of all of these as well is the Carbon Pro and waterproofing the Vachetta leather. There are so many people that get a new Louis Vuitton bag and don't protect the leather, and then if the bag gets caught in the rain, it just gets covered in watermarks. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Now, like I said at the start of this video, please don't forget to hit subscribe if you like designer handbags. There'll be lots more videos coming up very soon. Now, don't go anywhere, because up next and I will link to the video just here. Click there. I have pulled together a video on the top 11 designer handbags to take with you to the workplace. You don't want to miss this because I have done all the hard work for you and found some of the best styles that are suitable to carry everything that you need for work. So make sure you stay tuned and continue watching.